Man, a lot of you guys have been sending in silhouette memes, but let me just tell you my favorite right now has to come from Deodraws, who's doing the thumbnail as well for this one, and it's quite amazing. As you can see, on the left side is Faye, Christmas Faye, and on the right side is Christmas Tharja being hit over the head with a curtain rod. I think that's a pretty good summarization of what's going on there. It's good stuff, perfect. And I'm saying this because I don't think people remember just how bad last year, well, not bad, but how broken or powerful the units were that were released with the last Christmas banner. Because last year we gave them our heart, but the very same day they kind of gave us a bunch of armored units, and we were all kind of left bereft and going, whoa, what the hell? Because, guys, this was the introduction of Gen 2 stats in some ways. At least this was where a lot of the stats eventually peaked, and we kind of saw a lot of craziness coming from Armored more than anything, because, well, this was the introduction of special abilities for them as well. Lissa right here was a character that until probably, I believe it was Legendary Tiki, held the highest BST in the game, or at least tied with the highest BST at 175, which was the landmark for nearly 8 or 9 months, I'd say. Not only that, but we also, of course, got abilities like the Bold Fighter and the Vengeful Fighter, and these were abilities that eventually became just something that armored units needed. And this was the start, outside of course, Arena being changed with, you know, newer stats and things like that, but this was the start of the bigger, badder abilities for armored units, and some are still debating if they were really necessary in the game, but they're here, they're still very much, available, but it made armored units like, Lissa here, very, very potent in player phase, because Bold Fighter allowed a guaranteed follow-up as well as a charge-based ability, so cool. We also had a new Defiant ability. In fact, it completely replaced the Defiant ability in Brazens. And Brazens were introduced in this banner as well, but, well, some of them eventually moved on and, became a lot more accessible. We started seeing a lot more Brazens in the future, and it was not necessarily too bad, and at least Brazens could be moved over to other units that weren't just armored. Also, Robin there was pretty high in the BST as well. He also had Brazen Attack and Speed too, which at the time was pretty crazy. Their weapons were also pretty powerful too, honestly. Just based on what I remember, Tannenbaum and things like that, still very useful on certain Lance units. But then there, of course, was Christmas Tharja, a unit that I'm sure a lot of you will remember, because, well, she had pretty much the entire build for her. She had a great weapon that allowed her to counter characters really well without having to invest too much. And, of course, we also got Vengeful Fighter, which at that point we had not seen. And what I'm trying to say here is all of the Christmas banner was the Armor Apocalypse. It was the one banner that really changed a lot of how we viewed Armor Emblem entirely. Before, yes, we had certain abilities that did that. We had Steady Breath, which was still really powerful. But now we had abilities specifically made for armored units, specifically made to take advantage of having these additional benefits being over certain health percentiles and all this other stuff like Bold Fighter allowing just, player phase actions. It was intense, it was insane, and I'm wondering if we're going to be getting something similar like this to a different emblem team. Maybe we might actually see some infantry usage, I'm not sure. But that whole banner right there, this whole monstrosity that we had last year, was an especially powerful one. And I think it might be a good idea if we kind of try to skirt this a little bit. I'm not trying to say that it shouldn't be, powerful, but considering the last few banners have been quite powerful as well, it might be a good idea not to go as far as this banner did. I know a lot of you were like, Surtur was insane and all this other stuff. You had no idea what it was like when Christmas came out last year. Holy crap. Well, let's hope that this Christmas banner coming up is not as insane as Christmas Tharja and her buddies, who brought a lot of the Armor Emblem changing meta with them. But, what do you guys think? I'm just going to go back to looking at this lovely piece of artwork, if you don't mind. Ah, man. Look at Tharja. She's just like, oh, why would you do this to me? And Faye's just like, I'm the best divine reindeer out there. I don't know why I'm making fan fiction with my mind, but I am, nerds. I really, really, really am.